All right, this is still solving equations. We're going to spend a lot more time with this. Um, and as each day we go on, they're going to get more difficult and more difficult. So again, I encourage you to one, show all your steps. Two, um, complete as much as you can and just make valiant attempts. And when I'm grading it, I'll be able to answer questions a little easier. So make valiant attempts at all of them. Okay, so let's get busy. So solving equations, we're going to be doing this with variables on both sides. And there's a lot of steps that you got to follow when you do this. When we are solving equations with variables on both sides, the first thing we do is we distribute. So anytime you see parentheses like such, you know you're going to go ahead and distribute to get AB plus AC. Then, if you have any like terms to combine on each side independently, you will combine like terms. Now, my goal is to always move the variables to the left side of the equal sign and then move all the constants to the right side of the equal sign. And then you're basically going to undo any multiplication or division. Okay? So if you look here, in this first example, you know here's the equal sign. So if I draw a line down there, you know you have the left side and the right side. Now, it's generally easier if you divide by what's on the left. So that's why I always say bring the variables to the left. So if I look at this, do I have any distributing necessary here? No. If I look at the left side, do I have any like terms to combine? No. If I look at the right side of the equal sign, any like terms? No. So now I'm moving on to the next step. I'm going to move the variables to the left side. So how do I get rid of the 2x on the right? I subtract. Now, whatever I subtract on the right, I also have to subtract on the left, but I have to make sure I line it up under its like term. Next, I'm going to go ahead and move the 13 over to the right side. This is what we call a constant. There's no variable linked to it. So how do I get rid of the 13? I subtract it. And what's the like term on the right side that I can line it up under? The minus 8. So now when I do this, I know these eliminate, I know these eliminate. And I'm going to go ahead and perform this operation. 5x minus 2x is 3x equals negative 8 minus 13 is negative 21. And now how do I get rid of the 3? 3 is linked to x by multiplication, so I divide. 3's cancel, and I get x is equal to negative 7. Okay, so again, you move the variables to the left and the constants to the right by undoing addition and subtraction, and you move right along. So the next one, right, I look and I see I have no distributing on the left side, no distributing or combining like terms on the right side. So I'm at the step where I'm going to bring the variables to the left and the constants to the right. So what variable do I have to get rid of on the right side? The 4x. So I subtract 4x. What do I line it up on the left side? The 8x. Now, I got to get rid of this 7. Since the 7 is positive, I'm going to subtract it because that makes it add up to 0. I know those cancel. I'm going to line it up under its like term, negative 17. And now, negative 8x minus 4x is negative 12x equals negative 17 minus 7 is negative 24. Now I can get rid of the negative 12. How? I divide. And I'm left with x equals negative 24 divided by negative 12 is positive 2. Okay? Now in this next example, on the left side of the equal sign, I have no simplifying to do. But on the right side, so I bring it down. So I have 3 minus 4a equals, on the right side, I actually have to distribute this 5. 5 times a is 5a. 5 times negative 3 is minus 15. Next, I'm going to go ahead There's no combining like terms, so I'm going to bring the variables to the left and the constants to the right. How do I get rid of the 5a? I subtract it, line it up under the 4a. Then how do I get rid of this 3? I'm going to go ahead and subtract it since it's positive, line it up under its like term, negative 15. So those eliminate, So I'm left with negative 9a equals negative 18. Now I can divide by negative 9 and, a is equal to negative 18 divided by negative 9 is positive 2. All right, so those were all the what I call baby problems. So now we're stepping up into some toddler problems, getting a little more difficult here. So when I look here, I have no distributing to do, but I have to look. If I draw that line down the left side, I have to look at the left side, right, and identify if there's any like terms. And I look and I see these are like terms. So I'm going to combine them the way they are because they're on the same side of the equal sign. Negative 4x minus x, negative 5x. I'm going to go ahead and bring down the minus 11 equals. On the right side, do I have any like terms? Yes, the 2 and the negative 1. I'm going to combine them the way I see it. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then I bring down the minus 3x. Now I don't have any distributing or combining like terms left to do. So now I can go ahead and move the variables to the left and the constants to the right. So to bring the negative 3x over, I'm going to add it, line it up under the negative 5x. To bring the 11 over, I'm going to add it, line it up under the 1, because those are all like terms. Negative 5x plus 3x is negative 2x. Bye-bye. 1 plus 11 is 12, and bye-bye. And now all I have to do is divide by that negative 2. And x is equal to 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6. Okay? So again, distribute, combine like terms, variables to the left, constant to the right, and then undo multiplication or division. Now when we look at this, I'm very interested to see how you do. First time around on these type of problems, especially on the homework. Again, take it to step by step. I'm going to draw a line down that equal sign to separate the two sides. And all I'm going to do is simplify each side before I even think about moving on. So on the left side, I'm going to go ahead and distribute the negative 6, and I'm going to distribute the negative 3. So I get negative 6 times 1, negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 2x is plus 12x. Negative 3 times 12x is negative 36x. Negative 3 times negative 10 is positive 30, so plus 30 equals. On this side, I'm just going to go ahead and combine like terms to get negative 18x. But now, on the left side, I have to see if there's any like terms to combine. If I look, I have negative 6 and positive 30 that can be combined. And then I have 12x and negative 36x to combine. I do not use inverse operations here. They're on the same side of the equal sign. So 12x minus 36x is negative 24x. Negative 6 plus 30 is plus 24 is equal to negative 18x. Now it's time to move the variables and the constants. So first thing I'm going to do is add the 18x, line it up under its like term, 24x. Then I'm going to subtract the 24. There's no like term under here, so I'll just scoot it over. And negative 24x plus 18x would give me negative 6x. Those go bye-bye. Those go bye-bye. Equals negative 24. And now I can go ahead and divide by negative 6. And when I do that, I get x is equal to 4. So to review the problem, first thing I do is I distribute on the left side. And at the same time on the right side, I combine these like terms. Combine like terms on the left side then, and now I completely have each side of the equal sign simplified. Move the variables to the left, constants to the right, and then I'm left with just undoing division. Okay? So the next one. These are sometimes tough because sometimes you can distribute the fraction and it ends up okay. All right, so when I look at this problem, I would probably go ahead and distribute because 2 times 6y is 12y. Divided by that 3 gives me 4y. And then 2 times 15 is 30. Divided by that denominator, 3 gives you plus 10. So distributing the fraction there is your first option if it comes out nicely. So now here's my equal sign down the middle. So I move the constants or the variables to the left, bring the constants to the right, make sure all your like terms are aligned vertically. 4y, bye-bye, equals, bye-bye, 16. And now, very straightforward. Divide by 4, y is equal to 4. Okay? So like I said, these get a little more difficult as we go along. We'll do a couple more together and then I'll put you on your own for the homework. So I look at a problem like this, right? I look on the left side. So sometimes if you want to draw the line down the middle so you can separate the two sides, on the left side of the equal sign, I have nothing to simplify. There's no distributing and there's no like terms. But on the right side, the first thing I have to do is distribute here. You cannot add the 8 and the 3 yet, only because it's 3 times something, so it's not a like term. So I bring down the 8 and I distribute to 3. 3 times negative 3x is negative 9x. 3 times 7 is plus 21. But I'm not done simplifying that side. I look and I see 8 and 21 can be combined. So I have 19 minus 7x equals 8 plus 21 is 29 minus that 9x. Now I can go ahead and solve this simple equation. Bring the variables to the left by adding 9x. Bring the constants to the right by subtracting that 19. Those eliminate. I get 2x equals 29 minus 19 is 10. Divide by 2, and x is equal to 5. All right. So let's see if we can find one more difficult one. All right. So for this one, first thing I'm going to do is do all of my distributing. So 2 times 5y gives me 10y. 2 times 13 is 26 equals negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. Negative 6 times negative y is plus 6y. But I also have to bring down this minus 3y. Now on the left side, there's no like terms to combine. But on the right side, oops, wrong one. On the right side, I have these y terms I can combine. So 10y plus 26 equals negative 6. When I combine these, I get plus 3y. I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 3y, line it up under the like term. Subtract 26. It gives me 7y equals negative 32. And now when I divide by 7, does that come out to a nice number? Absolutely not. So we leave our answer in this fraction form. Try the homework